This podcast is presented by the Petite Victory Collective. Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of Modular Stories. In this podcast, I would like to create a platform for people to share themselves, their stories, their experiences, and their life lessons. Before each episode, my guest can build and patch their own background music with the help of my modular synth. My goal with this podcast is to inspire the listeners, spark their creativity, and to share these incredible people I get to talk to with the world. I hope you enjoy it.
You're not on camera. You can only do it when you're on camera.
Sorry.
And drama is what we're here for. We just said that. Hi, Tim.
Wait.
This is gonna be the whole podcast.
Okay.
Okay.
Wait,
we
have to start
here.
again. I'm completely fucked it up. There.
Hi, Tim.
Hi, Tinka.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am good.
Nice.
Welcome to this podcast, Tim.
Hi. Thank you for having me on my podcast.
Yes, it was very hard to set this all up.
It was really hard.
I did everything.
Yes, of course. You did
Because I know
everything.
how this works. Oh, I touched it.
Okay, now you can see my face and you can see your face, so
That's
good.
good.
Then I can, wait, let me just... Should we just say that we're working on something?
Yeah. Cool. So we are working.
Yeah.
That
no,
was
I
the
will-
bare minimum. I can say minimum.
Minimum. With the whole
Minimum.
You know that...
Reverse the word.
Minimum.
Minimum. Minimum.
So it's
Minimum. Minimum. We can just make like a podcast as like a
Shit show podcast.
yeah. That's this.
Beautiful.
That's literally this.
Yes, we're just doing a whole shit show.
It's about nothing except for that we're working on something to be announced soon.
Well, hello everybody.
Whoa, you could hear it? No, okay. You can start.
What happened?
My belly rumbled and I was like, oh, I can't put it on the mic. You hear it.
Hey everybody.
Sorry. This is never gonna start.
No, we. Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of Modular Stories. Today I have Tinka with me,
Hola.
who is a dancer. But again, I will always let my guests do the introductions themselves, so you can say
Hello.
anything about you.
I'm Tinka and I'm a dancer. I'm in my third year right now at Artes Dance Artists.
Yes, beautiful. We are currently working on a project, as you probably heard in the intro already. So it's quite special and quite secret still, so we cannot tell anything. Our lawyers forbid us. So very
I
big
have
stuff.
told some people.
Oh, well. Anyways,
If you know it, don't tell.
but I wanted to ask you as well. How did you start dancing? What made you start dancing?
Yes.
How did you get into it? And what made you want to pursue that as a career path?
Okay, so it started at the Barbie movies. You know the Barbie movies?
The old...
Not the hi Ken, hi Barbie. No,
The old animated...
old
Yeah.
12 Dancing Princesses or something. you know?
Okay.
Yeah, that's where it started. And I would always copy them and dance and do ballet. And then my mom, she saw me doing that and she put me on ballet classes. So that's what I used to do in primary school. And then, you know Intro Dance?
Yeah.
The company back here.
Yeah.
Like in my hometown, they were performing and I was 10 years old and we went to that performance and I loved it so much. And after that performance, me and my mom, we walked out and I really told her like, this is what I want. I want to be on that stage. And my mom, she immediately took action and she went to the artist exit. And we waited there for a dancer to come out. And I was super shy. I was like, Mom, you really gonna talk to the dancer? And she went to a dancer from Interdance and she just asked, like, how do you become a dancer? How do you even get on that stage? And this dancer said, you should do a pre-education and then, of course, go to a dance school. So I auditioned for pre-education in Enschede. I was there for my mid-school, high school, how you call it. And then I auditioned for Artes, and now I'm here.
Wow, so you really started early, like at 10 to already...
At 10, like, really intensive.
Whoa.
But before that, just ballet.
Just ballet?
Just ballet, like every other dancer. No, that's not true. We're very diverse here.
Yeah, I mean, that for sure. Like, we have so many styles, and you also get taught in, like, super many different styles, if I know correctly.
Yeah, I would say so. Like, of course, the base is contemporary. We are trained to be contemporary dance artists. So we have a lot of contemporary, but there's, of course, so many styles within contemporary dance. But we have ballet as a base, of course, always. And sometimes we have little courses, like we had hip-hop as well. Improvisation is a very big part of it. And projects where we have to make, because making is also very important in artists for this education.
Yes, you're very right. You'll also start this year with making in ChoCo, right?
Yes.
That's going to be exciting. So,
very.
ChoCo is a project, collaborative project between composers and choreographers. That's where the name comes from. And also dancers. They just get lost in the naming because Chocoda sounds kind of stupid.
Yeah.
But
Chocoda.
So we will have, I don't know how it is this year, but for us it was that we had like 1 or 2 days to come up with a performance, make music for that performance, have a choreography, teach that choreography, and get a story done and get a whole performance done in super little time. And it is for composers, I can only talk from my side, it's super intense. And it's super stressful with very long days, and I imagine for you it's quite similar.
Yes, but also with the live musicians.
Oh yes.
They have to also learn it and play it.
Yeah.
Sometimes even live, sometimes recorded.
Yes.
Right?
We get parts of an orchestra, like we have like in the Erepreis orchestra is separated into groups of 2 or 3, and so each composer gets 2 or 3 musicians of randomness to kind of work with, and it's super hard to find a way, but also super cool to find like this really weird way to compose for really weird groups. Like one of my friends had tuba and flute and soprano sax which is this really weird combination to write for, but it's really fun for the composers because for us, like normally we just work in our little basement and sit in front of the computer for like weeks to come up with something. But to be there in this studio and to do something in like 1 or 2 days, it's really, really weird. And
for dancers as well, because normally a making process for really a choreography, that's of course longer than 5, 8, 10 minutes, which are the pieces in ChoCo. We take weeks. To really make. So in ChoCo, we really have to find a way how to make something with this group of dancers in a really, really short time. So most of the time it ends up in more of a score, a dance score, or a sketch. But also a lot of choreographers, makers, the third years, they like to take that challenge and actually make choreo. Which I'm definitely gonna do this year. Definitely.
I'm super excited.
I have a great idea, and I want you as a composer for it. I will tell you about it. Maybe I already told you about it. The bug piece.
No.
Stay tuned for the bug piece. Anna.
It's so unfair because we have ChoCo only once, and you have it for 3 years.
Yeah.
And it was super nice to be there, and then now it's just gone for us, and we can watch the others do things.
That's for us the same with Pleasure Island.
Yes, Pleasure Island is the same. It's
Like theater gets to do it like first, second, I don't know.
But yeah, it's really weird. It's a bit unfair. What did you do in Pleasure Island? For the people watching, Pleasure Island is another project we do at Artes in the first year, where you get thrown together with any department of the school. So you have composers, musicians, dancers, you have music theater, you have Tournelle school, so like actors, and fine arts I think is there as well. And,
yes.
Maybe I forgot something, but obviously these. And then you get thrown into random groups and have to create like 15 minutes-ish performance in 4 days in a random building. But what was your group? I don't remember actually.
Yeah, it's very interdisciplinary.
Yes.
That's it, right? Yeah. My group, we were in an old and empty fabric hall building where I think they used to make, I don't know, umbrellas? No. Like something like that. And it was on the other side of the river, and we were there, and you can, with your group, choose a place and really use that space as your performance, act, something. Like you can do anything, really. You get so much freedom, and it also really depends on what kind of disciplines are in your group. Like we had theater, dancers, fine arts. That's it. Like those. No. And creative writing. Creative writing also.
Forgot about them. Yes.
Yeah. We had those, and we made a performance experience. It was really because the people entered the room, and we really had nice lights and stuff, and everywhere were hanging cards. And on those cards, people had written secrets, which we did before. So it took us so much time to hang up those cards.
I can imagine.
So the people would come in, and they would see all the cards around them and read them, and it's like secret things. And we made a performance around that. But some people, they make a music piece. Some people, they make a film. There was one group or like several groups who made an installation. So it's some kind of score or loop that goes on the whole time as well. You can really do anything. What did you do?
I did this year, yeah. We made a really weird musical. We had this... Yes, we had this 10-minute musical about...
It was really great.
It was super fun to do as well. It was super intense, but we made a short musical about me as a cook who then had a really bad cooking show, and in the end turned out to wanting to be a burlesque dancer as his new passion. And so I had to wear a cooking outfit, and underneath I had really sparkling pants and a blue leather vest, and it was super cold the whole 4 days because we had 4 degrees outside or something, and they didn't have heating.
No.
So it was super weird.
I didn't know.
It was super bad sometimes because we were at the shady side. The sunny side was beautiful, but we didn't have the windows at the sun side, so it was super cold. That's why we actually had heating lamps, from which way they used they used to keep the food warm with those, and we just put it on us.
And you used them? They were still working?
Yes.
Wow.
And so we used them as lighting, but also just as heating. And funny side story about that as well is that on the day of the performance, I also had a day booked in the studio, in the music studio here in Arnhem, to record a piece with Claudia, my duo partner for the year. And I was super stressed out because we didn't have the piece finished yet. And we had the performance at 6, and it was 2, and I had to leave for 2 hours. So it was super stressful. I felt super bad. And the other issue was I was, and I didn't notice, but I was still wearing the burlesque outfit. So
oh my God,
going into the studio, and then I realized that I was wearing the cooking apron, and then I thought about putting it off, but then I realized what I had underneath, and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna sit here playing piano in this cooking outfit now.
So it was super
amazing.
tense. I never ate less in a week. I think it was super horrible, but it was so much fun to do. It was and it turned out really fun.
Really fun. It was
a fun experience.
such a cool place. It was abandoned. That's the word.
Yes, abandoned.
It was the old store of Hema, and the Hema, they got out of it, and now it was abandoned, and they, like, in the middle in the center, they, like, artists could use this building, and of course the Hema had a kitchen.
Yes, we had to fight for this kitchen for so long to get it, but it was super nice. It was super fun.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Thank you. Did you like my dancing? Was I dancing?
It was amazing.
Thank you.
It was amazing.
Well, another topic I wanted to talk with you about is actually the audition into Artes.
Yeah.
Because I heard a lot about the dancers audition, and it seems quite intense. So.
Yeah. I'm a special case.
Okay.
Because we were, my class had to audition during Corona. So all the auditions, they were online and you had to send in videos. But because I was from the Netherlands, and in a pre-education of Artes, they would because Artes has 3 dance pre-educations in Arnhem, Velp and Enschede. And I was from there, and they would only let the people from the pre-education come to Artes and audition live in just one round. Not even several rounds, because normally it's there, like, people from all over, they come and there's, like, several rounds. We just had one round where we did a ballet class, a Graham class, and show our solo. That's it. And then a little talk. And also some assignment where you had to write. So me and another girl from my class, we ended up getting into the audition. And it was really funny because in the audition, she was the one that I talked to most. And we already made friends in the audition and, like, switched Instas. And then eventually we were the ones getting in. So
that's super nice.
I knew someone before I got here.
I think that's super helpful to not, like, completely start off alone. To have, like, some context also with, like, moving and making friends and just knowing or having questions about classes or anything. Yeah. But I'm super impressed with you because, like, with the dancers, you have, like, 250 to, like, 400 applicants and, like, 10 or 20 people get in. So it's super intense. So, like, hats off to you. That's really a great achievement already to just make it into the school. Yeah. And then what you do here is awesome as well.
I was amazed that I got in. I really didn't expect it as well. But I'm really happy I'm here. Really happy. Yeah,
I can imagine. It's super nice here, and it's so open. Like, I feel like, especially, like, the dance course, it's super cool what you do. You have so many projects you can do, and so many. You have this open podium where you can show things, and you guys are just on another level. Like, we composers.
That's what we think about composers.
No. Like, when we worked together, like, we didn't really know what to expect because we had never worked with dancers. ChoCo. Yes. And we actually joked before to, like, if you guys are mean to us, then we will make really hard rhythms for you to dance to. So that you actually have to like count to 7 and to 8 or something like that. God. And then on the first day we came there and we saw you at, like, the first practices, and we came home and we were like, holy shit, how are we in the same school? They're so freaking awesome. Like, your endurance and your capability physically and mentally to just go over this and learn these choreographies and just also from just, like, the endurance of your body to do this for so many hours a day is incredible, really.
Thank you. Then there's me just being really amazed on how does this thingy which you make music with work. Can you show me? I'm genuinely amazed by how does it work. Like, it's really the same. Yeah. Like, how do you make music? I cannot wrap my head around it.
I also don't know how to do it. I just, like, try it.
Oh, you do it great.
Thank you. Well, sometimes it also just sounds awful. Like it's just like you try some things and then sometimes it works and sometimes it's just complete trash.
Mm-hmm.
And
with dance too, sometimes you record yourself and you're like, oh shit.
But you now more started recording yourself as well, like putting small videos on Instagram of like little choreographies or solos then to dance
it's
to.
because we had an assignment to because in the third year you do a lot of auditions for internship in the fourth year. So you need audition videos as well, and we got an assignment for like make a tryout video for this. So that's where I got those videos from. Yeah.
So there was tryouts for the audition.
Yeah, but I'm really not used to making dance videos of myself, but it's actually really helpful to look at yourself, which is hard, especially when you're a dancer and you're like, oh no.
It's similar with music, like hearing myself sing or talk is always so awful.
Yeah.
But I think it can really be helpful to like watch back at you and see and analyze how you move to kind of improve.
It really helps with improving yourself, for sure.
But how does that work then with the audition for like the internships?
For the internships.
What kind of videos do you have to send in there?
Oh, that really depends on the company you want to audition for. And of course, you audition for a lot of companies to increase the chance of getting in somewhere. But on with every company, they want something different, so you can adjust your video, how you dance in it to that. Like someone's more theatrical, and they really give you this assignment. Like, there was one really funny assignment where they're like, and then you walk to the camera and you pretend like you're a sheep, and really something like that. Like someone more theatrical. And some, like NDT, they're like, okay, we want video of you doing ballet. We want to see your technique. And do a solo, of course. I mean, almost all companies are going to ask for a dance solo. But yeah, do you want to make it more theatrical or technical or
for sure.
Like that? You can adjust.
And I didn't give you
I
food.
really hope it is. I have food in my bag, but...
No.
But actually it's a myth. Like if you hear your stomach rumble, it's not because you're hungry.
But?
Because your stomach is rumbling.
No, but why is it rumbling then?
Because it's rumbling.
It
just does that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's interesting. I didn't know that. But it does it. I feel always hungry when it does it. That might be it.
You're indoctrinated.
Yeah. Could you also tell me a bit about how to create a solo in dance? Because I think the term is used a lot because also in music you have solos from like in rock music you have guitar solos or like solos, but you also have solo pieces written for instruments in orchestral context. But I think for dance it's quite different.
Really a solo.
Yeah.
There are so many ways to create dance. For example, you can video yourself, like record yourself in a video. Make a video of yourself improvising and look at the improvisation and see which movements you want, or you just copy the whole improvisation. That's how you can make... You can make from a score, like musicians do that as well, right?
Yeah.
Like from a score they make. Like it so depends on the choreographer. I'm really interested in making from visualization. Just like close your eyes and like maybe listen to a song and see some movements and then try them out. Like, I have found that it works for me really well, yeah.
That sounds really hard to, like, come up with that in your head beforehand and to really know what you want to do.
Yeah, for me, it's easier.
That's super
for
nice.
Me, because when I close my eyes, and especially when I hear a song, I just like, and then it looks like that, and then it looks like that, and then I try it out.
That's super cool.
Yeah, just more in your head.
Yeah.
Than the other side, like just improvising, just doing it with your body and seeing what comes out of it. Also possible.
Yeah. But so there's many ways. You don't have to create a solo about something specific. It's more about just being and making something that is about you and about how you move. And
for auditions, for sure, they want to see your movement quality, language, how you move, but also, of course, for some companies, how you make. Like, what do you make?
Yeah.
What do you want to show? Like, how do you choose to show yourself? Like, some people, they really like to make something that is really, how do you say it, like really a choreography. Really like to pa 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 pa, like really choreographed. And some people, they like to make something more theatrical, that's more about emotion. I don't know, like, it's really about that. What do you like? We have so many assignments for this as well, because we have these auditions and they're like, oh, make a tryout video and think about how you want to show yourself. Think about the company you want to go to and how are you going to adjust to that. So we really have to think about that a lot in how you present yourself.
No, I can imagine that's super stressful, I can imagine. But also I think it's super nice to really get into all kinds of different directions to also figure out for yourself first, okay, what do I want to do, and
what do I like?
Yes.
Yeah, like even knowing that, like for me, and I've heard it from so many classmates, that we have these assignments and we have to choose how to show ourselves, but we don't know yet what we actually want. So for me, like at this point, I've just let it go, and it's so cliche, but I'm just going to be me, like what I want to do.
But I feel like that's the best you can be anyways. Like it's the same in music. You always have like, oh, I want to sound like this guy or this guy, but I feel like the best and the most authentic you can be is just to be yourself. And there I had so many talks about that last year, because it was also like, okay, how do I find my identity as a musician or as a composer? What is my creative identity? And I don't know, I'm not a big fan of these kind of questions, because I don't know the answer, so maybe it's also just scaring me. But I feel like I'm just me. And through that, I feel like anything I do that I feel is myself and that I like doing, that's just gonna be me anyways. And
your essence, like, I really love the word essence.
Yes.
Like the essence of
beautiful.
Tinka, the essence of Tim, you know?
Yeah.
Whatever you do, it's gonna be there.
Yes, exactly.
It's gonna be there.
That's the beauty of it, that you can rely on that. And that's actually something I really learned in ChoCo. To go back to my instincts and my base and my essence, to figure out, okay, how can I do this? And I feel like it's, of course, always through challenges that you kind of go into that. But I don't know, it made things so much easier for me to realize that, because before I was always like, okay, how do I do this? How can I sound like this? And now I can just trust myself in, I'm just going to do what I like, and it's going to be fine, because if I like it, other people will also like it. And as we kind of found each other through that and found out that we're quite similar in what we like and our tastes. So through that, we found out that we want to do a secret project together. That we are
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. It's currently in development, and I'm super excited about it.
Me too.
It's gonna be a lot of fun, but we can't share anything yet to the public.
Except for the people who know, don't tell.
No, but don't tell them. Then it's cool. But so I think it's really nice, because then you can also be open to finding these kind of people. If you don't know what to do and who you are, then you're always going to be stuck in trying to be somebody else, and it's not going to be really you.
Yeah, it's just not open. Like when you're yourself and it's open, then you can also go.
Exactly. That's true. That's super beautiful.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that Artes as well lets us do that. Because I heard from a lot of schools, I don't know how it is here in the Netherlands, but at least in Germany, that a lot of music schools try to push you in certain directions, and sound like this. In this school, you're going to learn how to make music like these people. And of course, you have to also go through that and learn, okay, what did important people do, and how can you write in certain styles and do certain kind of styles. Same as in dance, where you have to know how ballet works and how other hip hop works and other genres work, but you can find yourself through that, and it's more about showing you what options are there to find yourself through that.
For sure. I feel like, especially in dance, when you see a dancer, and I mean, you know the schools, you can maybe kind of tell from what school this dancer is. But in artists as well, and I feel like artist dancers are, what do they say? Like, they're really floaty.
Yeah.
They're really, because artists is really about this artistic side as well. So I feel like dancers from artists, they end up being really artistic and really having this openness as well to making and creating, and no judgment. Like, there are so many possibilities and like that.
And your department as well is so positive throughout, so positive and through open for anything. Like with ChoCo, you throw the stupidest ideas around and they would be down to do anything, because it's just about being there and doing something together. I was in a group where we wanted to, or they had an exercise where everybody just was supposed to be an animal of their choice and just try to figure out how that animal works, and it was super cool to see that as a composer from the outside, to just be like, holy shit, because I could see what they were trying to do and which animal they are, and it was super impressive. But if I told my friend, like, do that, they would be like, no.
Yeah.
So it's really nice to have this openness and this, because that channels the creativity. I feel like there you can really open up to trying new things and try other things and develop yourself and develop together. And
to do weird things. Like, it's typical ChoCo to just be like, be an animal. Like, it's typical. That's why I'm really looking forward to ChoCo, because we always just do the craziest stuff, and no one cares. Everyone loves it. Everyone loves it. And yes, it's dance, but it's also just creativity.
Yes.
In performance.
Of course, like, some performances weren't even like real dancing. It was more like there were so many acting as well in there. Yeah. And it was just super cool, because you see these people just having fun. Yeah. And I feel like that is so cool at Artes and at the dance. Like, the passion behind this is so amazing to see that everybody just wants to do this for anything.
That's why I cannot wait for ChoCo.
Yes.
Because I know myself, I'm going to be there and I'm going to be like, what's the craziest idea, you know? And what are we going to do? I'll tell you about my idea later.
Yes, please do. I also have one last question for you that I always ask my guests, and it's kind of a deeper question. So if you don't feel like answering, that's also totally cool. But I have this theory that I read in a book. It's
I like that.
It's super cool, and it opened up my mind to whole things, and it even more when I talked with other people about their ideas about it. It's called Museum Lives, and it's by this author called John Strelacki. And basically what it is about is that after you die, which it gets lighter again, but after you die, you don't go to heaven or hell or anywhere, but you go into...
After you die, it gets lighter. Sorry.
Well, the theory is not that dark as it sounds in the beginning, but so it is about realizing your life. So you die, and then you don't go anywhere, but you go into a museum, and the museum of you. So you would go into the museum of Tinka and see everything you've done in your life, and it would accurately depict that. So if you dance for 8 hours each day for all of your life, 1/3 of that museum would be about you dancing. If you sleep for 8 hours a day, 1/3 would be sleeping. You know, so it's really about how you actually showing how you spend your time. And through that, it is supposed to open you to see, okay, how do I want to present myself? How I want to be in my museum, and going back to spending your time with that. So my question then would be, what would you like to have in your museum? What would be focus points of your museum? And do you feel like you already are on the path to having a nice museum of yourself, or what kind of things would you like to improve on to have a nicer museum that feel nicer with yourself?
Well, a big part is me dancing, me on stage as well, me traveling.
Yes.
Me traveling. Like me in the studio, working with the best people in dance, and just working and being inspired, and then showing that on stage, like, oh, that would be a really big part. And then of course the traveling. I want to travel so much. It's amazing, the freedom.
Yeah, you already did a lot this summer. Like I saw where you went. It was so beautiful to see.
That's how we got our idea for the yet to come.
Yes, I can't tell about the idea, but it was super funny. It was just a random video of yours, and I was like, oh, this is so cool.
Yeah, I was on my travels, and I was at a certain place, and I suddenly thought of Tim. Of something he told me before, and I suddenly texted him like, "Ooh, this is really cool," and I sent him like a sound recording, and then Tim was like, "Oh, that's really cool."
You'll see soon. It's gonna come.
There's so many teasers now.
Yes, I'm just gonna it's gonna be.
It's one big teaser.
Yes, this is all just advertisement.
Yeah, but the museum is not like in chronological order, because for you it would be like your normal hair era, your blue hair era, your pink hair era.
Oh yes, the Eras Museum.
The Eras.
No, it doesn't have to be in chronological order.
No, it's just
can be
divided.
anything, but yeah, for sure.
Let me think about.
Some part would be the blue hair era for sure.
Spending time with the people I love.
That was what I realized, especially when I thought about it the first time. I was like, oh, I should spend more time with friends and family, because I felt like before I always put work first, and then of course work is also like a really, really big part of who I am and who I want to be, like who I want to present. But I realized that friends and family are they're not a given, you know. You have to spend time with them as well to have them represented, and that was super.
Yeah.
It sounds super awful when you speak it out loud, but I always like somehow I had it as like kind of a given, because I had friends and a family, because they are there all the time, but you don't actually spend the time that much.
Yeah. Yeah, for me it's different, because like I do spend a lot of time with my friends. And also because I'm really lucky that I'm Dutch and that my friends are in the Netherlands, and that I can just go anywhere because I have the student OV, and I just
that helps a lot, yes.
Yeah, but really this given, like, spend your time with your family, because I used to, like, in the beginning of the first year, like every weekend go back home, but of course that fades away. And sometimes, indeed, I realized, like, whoa, I haven't been home in a long time. I should go home. And then my brother texts me, like, when are you coming home? We have to watch The Witcher again.
Do another Dungeons and Dragons night.
Yes, that's a big reason why I always have to go back.
So we would have a little Dungeons and Dragons corner in your museum as well.
Like for sure, sure. Yes. Me doing backflips in Dungeons and Dragons.
When I met her today, I the first thing I said to you was just like, wouldn't it be cool if you could do backflips when you greet people, just to like, just go there and be like, do a backflip and then say hello? That would be so cool. Yeah. And then we came up with our cool new method of saying hi.
No, first I said like, oh, I do backflips all the time. I play Dungeons and Dragons. And then this, I don't know.
I don't know. It just happened. It was really random, but it was.
It's a really cool move, right?
It's super cool.
Oh! It's because you said, I want to do a backflip as a greeting, and I was like, no, you should do something subtle but cool,
right? That's
like this.
Yes. You know, if you see us in school and we do this, you know what's going on.
Yeah. It's just a greeting. It's just because we cannot do a backflip. When, not if, we learn a backflip, you will see us do a backflip.
Oh God. It's gonna be scary, but I want to learn it.
A backflip. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Me too. I really don't know if I could do it.
I couldn't even do it in like swimming pools.
Oh, or trampoline.
Oh, I never jumped trampoline. I couldn't because of my neck.
Oh.
I have like a weird spine, so I always get headaches when I jump trampoline.
Yeah.
But I was always too scared already to do it like off like jumping boards and like swimming pools.
Yeah.
I was never brave enough to do backflips. But I think backflips would be so cool.
I always did the pencil.
Okay, yeah. No, I did the hippo where you just like and just everything hurts afterwards. Once I had like everything was red.
Oh.
And you just saw where I landed exactly. It was terrible.
Water hurts.
Water hurts so bad.
Water can hurt. But it's also
now we get really deep.
It's a spring of life.
And the spring of backflips.
I'm very happy there's not water in the air because it stopped raining. There's always water in the air, but you know what I mean. Yes, I'm a dancer, but I also had chemistry in school.
I know how the world works.
Water is H2O. Just add water. And then you do the mermaids. Yeah.
Did you ever do that, like a mermaid course?
A course? No, but I played mermaid a lot.
Oh.
For sure.
Yeah, I had that once. Like in 4th grade or something, we had a course where we all got like these thingies to like be a mermaid. And
I'm so jealous.
No, it was super scary. I was a terrible mermaid.
Oh because you cannot move your legs.
You cannot spread your legs. You have to do this, and it was so hard because I didn't have any muscles in my belly. So I was just like, I was probably the first mermaid ever to just drown. It was not a nice time. It was super terrible. I just sat in the water. Was like, oh shit, this is gonna be. This is not fun at all.
I would love to do that though. Mhm.
You try it out and
mermaids.
Let's talk after. It was horrible. I hated it.
Yeah, I'll come back to you and be like, oh, I'm alive.
Mermaid is not an easy job. Really.
No.
You underestimate mermaids.
No. If I won't become a dancer, it'll be my second career maybe.
Mermaid.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cool.
I would love to be a mermaid. I have the red hair. I'm Ariel. Did you see my reel on Instagram? With you have to watch it. Okay, do you know Loetje?
No.
Velperplein.
No. This is going off to a horrible start.
Willemijn.
Is that somewhere, a place in Arnhem?
Okay, there's this place in Arnhem where there's like a fountain.
Yes, okay. Yes, I know the reel. Where you were just standing in the water.
Yes, and then I came home and we made so many video shots. And I went to my roommate and I was like, oh, I'm gonna make an edit of this. I just don't know what song I have to use. And he was like, use The Little Mermaid because you have red hair. And now you're Ariel. So I used the song of The Little Mermaid because of that.
Can I put the video into the edit? Like, have it play in the middle of us?
Yes, it's amazing. You can. I will send it to you.
Please do.
Mm-hmm.
That's that was beautiful.
It's a masterpiece.
Yes, it's better than the Disney remake.
Yeah, it's a very good representation of the crazy things we like to do at Artes. It doesn't make sense, but it's fun.
Thank you so much for being here with me, Tinka. It was really nice to talk with you. Really, really fun. And yes, thank you for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.